Hi there, you are listening to the Play Squad Pod with Katie Harkness. I am going to run through the coaching conversations that I have had this week with women just like you. These are the conversations that I've been having with clients and in consultations that I'm going to kind of let you in on and just invite you. Today's topic is one that can come up with clients, but I work really hard to head it off before it rears its head by managing expectations. But it's an important topic that affects so many of us on our fat loss and fitness journeys, and that is impatience. I'm going to start though by saying that if you do fall into the impatient camp, you are not alone. Collectively, we are becoming more impatient with absolutely everything. Research by the University of California found that people who are accustomed to instant gratification, like that offered by online shopping today, might struggle with patience in other areas of their life. And this is due to the brain's reward system, which becomes conditioned to expect quick fixes and quick rewards. And that can make waiting for longer term gains feel more challenging. Also, a study published in the Journal of Psychological Science indicated that the prevalence of digital technology that we are surrounded by day in, day out has accelerated the culture of instant gratification. So research has found that individuals are increasingly focused on short-term rewards. And that can lead to an impatience and a lack of perseverance more than anything in pursuing long-term goals. Research has also suggested a link between the expectations of instant results and also mental health issues, such as anxiety and frustration. So a study in the Journal of Happiness Studies indicated that people who prioritize immediate rewards may experience lower overall satisfaction in life, leading to increased feelings of impatience and dissatisfaction. Now, in a world where instant results from a health and fitness point of view are advertised absolutely bloody everywhere, from quick fix diets, before and after photos, etc., it's really, really easy to become frustrated when our own progress doesn't match those unrealistic timelines. Now, you've probably at some point in time expressed a desire for quick results for fat loss and fitness, perhaps pretty recently. I know that I have in the past. But today, what I want to focus on is the potential damage that actually this impatience can cause to your journey and ultimately your overall success. First, we're going to touch on the mental toll that impatience can take. So when you set high expectations for quick results, it can just lead to constant disappointment. So imagine this, you are starting a new workout program or diet. And I don't like the word saying starting a diet because it suggests that there's an end to it, whereas it should just be a sustainable lifestyle change, but that's a whole other topic. But you've started a new workout program or diet, and within a week or so, you're hoping to see some noticeable changes. Now, when the scale doesn't budge or your clothes aren't feeling any looser or fitting differently, frustration sets in. And then you're in this cycle of expectation and disappointment. And that can lead to a really negative mindset, and it just makes it much harder to stay motivated. Now, interestingly, if a friend said to you that they were going to give up on their diet or their new kind of workout plan after a week or so because it wasn't working, you'd no doubt tell them to be more patient. You'd probably think they were a bit bananas for giving up. But when it's our own impatience, we don't see that. So next time you can feel yourself saying or getting frustrated with results not happening fast enough, just think what you would say to a friend if they were to be going through the thought process that you were going through at that very moment in time. Anyway, impatience often leads to an all or nothing mentality. And you might think, Well, if I'm not seeing results immediately, why bother in the first place? And that type of thinking can cause you to abandon your efforts altogether. And that then leads to a huge feeling of defeat. And instead of enjoying the process of becoming healthier, you're kind of stuck in this cycle of frustration, perhaps leading to overeating, then skipping workouts, or then just trying extreme diets that aren't sustainable. And it becomes quite a slippery slope that can damage your relationship with food, damage your relationship with exercise. And it's often this cycle and slippery slope that triggers women to get in touch with me in the first place, as they recognize that they need to shift this mindset and ultimately get stuck out of this cycle, or get out of the cycle that they're stuck in, I should say, and shift the mindset. I also want to reflect on kind of the concept of comparison as well, because I think this has a huge bearing on our impatience today. So in today's digital age, it's almost impossible not to compare yourself to others, especially when social media bombards us with images of rapid transformations. And that can totally exacerbate impatience. You see someone who has lost weight quickly, and instead of focusing on your own journey, you start to feel envious, and you start to feel inadequate, and you start to go, God, why can't I do it if they can do it? And that kind of comparison then almost forces you to rush your process, and it leads you to make choices that aren't in alignment with your goals or indeed with your values. What you don't see in those rapid transformation photos, those before and after photos, is if that individual sustained it, how they felt whilst they were going through it, and indeed, would they do it again? And the answers to those questions are usually no, they didn't sustain it. They felt miserable, crap, and hungry whilst they were going through it. And no, there is absolutely no chance they would do it again. But you don't see that. If you look closely at those photos, you can kind of see how dead behind the eyes people tend to look. Now consider as well the impact of impatience on your physicality. When you're constantly seeking quick results, you might turn to extreme measures, restrictive diets, excessive exercise, or quick fix supplements. Those approaches, they can lead to burnout, they can lead to injury, and ultimately they lead to just being generally flipping miserable. Instead of, in actuality, focusing on nurturing your body with balanced nutrition and nurturing it with consistent exercise, impatience might drive you to engage in harmful practices that have lasting repercussions on your health, physically and mentally. And another damaging aspect of impatience is the loss of enjoyment in the fitness journey itself. When you're overly focused on the end goal, you might miss out on the small victories, those little everyday wins that give you joy along the way. The process of getting fitter should be rewarding. It should be fulfilling. But when you shift your focus to just results, you might find yourself dreading workouts, viewing healthy eating as a pain in the arse chore, and losing sight of why you started in the first place. And ultimately, if you aren't enjoying it, it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. And ultimately, that is what you are striving for. So how do we combat this impatience? Well, first off, it is essential to set and to have realistic expectations and to understand that meaningful change takes time. Rather than focusing on the scale or external results, shift your mindset to appreciate the internal changes that are happening, how you are feeling, how much more energy you've got. Are you feeling stronger? Are you enjoying your workouts? Do you get a buzz from it? These are all signs of progress, even if they don't manifest in immediate weight loss. Another really powerful tool is being present in the moment, or as present in the moment as you can be. to help you appreciate the journey rather than fixating on the destination itself. So taking time to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they are. So write down your accomplishments, whether it's completing a workout, whether it's trying a new healthy recipe, whether it's just feeling more confident in yourself. Those reminders can help reinforce that progress is happening, even if it isn't always visible. And I would argue that it's the invisible progress that is the magic anyway. It's why I always ask clients what they are proud of from the last week, and they rarely mention scale weight. Another thing that you can do to help kind of battle impatience is surround yourself with a supportive community. So engage friends, family, online groups where people share similar goals and experiences, and actually sharing your struggles, but also sharing the victories that you have along the way can help you feel less alone and remind you that everybody has got their own unique journey that they're on. And in actuality, you're probably traveling at a pace that is either comparable to everybody else, because in marketing, we only ever get shown extremes, or you might actually be traveling faster than a lot of people. And that's really motivating as well. And finally, embrace self-compassion. It's really easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned. And let's be honest, things rarely go as planned. So treat yourself with kindness and recognize that kind of setbacks are all part of the journey and are all part of the process itself. And instead of viewing those setbacks as failures, see them as opportunities to learn and grow and understand how to do things differently in the future when you are perhaps faced with a similar challenge. When you practice self-compassion and you reflect, you're more likely to stay committed to your journey, even when you are faced with challenges. So I encourage you to take a moment just to reflect on your own journey. Are you getting caught up in the desire for immediate results? How can you begin to recognize and address the potential damage that impatience can cause? And remember, patience isn't simply about waiting. It's about being present in your journey and allowing yourself the grace, I suppose, to grow and to learn along the way and to evolve. As a wrap up today, I just wanted to leave you with a little story, which I absolutely love and have for years, from when I first heard it. And it's all about the marshmallow experiment. So I just want you to imagine a bright room at Stanford University in the States filled with preschoolers, kids aged 4 to 6, and they are each staring at a fluffy marshmallow that has been placed in front of each of them. And the rules are really simple. Eat the marshmallow now or wait 15 minutes and earn a second marshmallow. Now, the room is abuzz with anticipation. There are kids squirming, their eyes are locked on the marshmallow. And while others are kind of working really hard to distract themselves, they're covering their eyes or they're singing to resist temptation. For some, it's just too much. And it really is a true test of willpower at the age of 4, 5, or 6 to kind of pass by that marshmallow and not eat it that is just placed in front of you. Now, when the researcher returns, those who waited the 15 minutes, they get a second marshmallow, while the others face the consequences of their impatience, which is A, not getting anything, and B, watching their peers eat another marshmallow. Now, years later, researchers followed these kids into adulthood and found that those who had, when they were younger, and had continued to delay gratification and had displayed patience, they tended to have better life outcomes. They had higher test scores at school and university. They had built healthier habits and they built stronger relationships. And I think the marshmallow experiment teaches us a really important lesson. And that is, whilst we might live in a world that craves instant rewards, from quick fixes to rapid results and rapid transformations, real success often requires patience. Like those children who are faced with their marshmallows, the most fulfilling achievements take time. So as you are working towards your own goals, embrace the process, enjoy the process, and remember, good things come to those who wait. Thank you for listening. I will be back next week. And if there are any topics that you would ever like me to cover, just get in touch and I will cover them in a future episode. Have a cracking week.